everyone. I've come to clear the way that Jesus simplified and the way that the heretical church leaders corrupted and hid behind religion. Why would religion hide the real Jesus from us, you might ask? Well, understand that religion is business, and as all businesses try to do, religion has found a way to ensure that their receivables or income keep coming in. They do this by hiding the real Jesus from you, the Jesus that was in the world for all of us. You see, Jesus stood to undo religion. This is what kicking the table over was all about. I found a Jesus whom I could understand in the Gospel of Thomas. And so as Jesus shared his understanding with us in this amazing document, I will also share my simple understanding with you so that you may also begin to understand. You see, Jesus was a soldier. He was a freedom fighter. He fought the good fight for your freedom. While in no way do I expect to give you all the answers you seek, as any good teacher knows, the student must achieve the answer on their own, through their own contemplation. Otherwise, it's just more programming, more brainwashing, more enslavement. This is why Jesus used parables to teach. There is that which you must come to understand on your own. Besides, I can't make you want to understand this, but if and when you do, there will be an aha moment. It is, after all, the true meaning of life in this world, to find the answer. It's the question that drives us, after all. You know, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for life. I'm not trying to hook you on my fish. I want you to be able to fish for yourself. God would not have given us the ability to use logic and reason if he did not want us to use it. This is why a teacher doesn't say 2 plus 2 is 4. A good teacher helps students think in line with the question so they can achieve for themselves as individuals. So, as I have achieved a wealth of knowledge from the Gospel of Thomas, I will begin sharing my simple understanding of each individual saying, starting with number 1. He who interprets the meaning of these sayings will not taste death. He's not saying you won't physically die. Realizing the truth shows us that death is not the end, so we don't cling to a dead or dying body. Now, I've decided to make a video pointing out all the signs of the end of times, end of days, however you might say it. Like I said, the signs of the end that are all around us every day in plain sight, which selfishness blinds you from. You know, Jesus said, blind follow the blind into a hole. A hole is a grave. I mean, it's so simple when you think about it. But just because you didn't see it before or think about it like this before doesn't mean it wasn't always there and you didn't always kind of feel this way already. But due to the true sadness of this situation, most simply choose not to dwell in these thoughts and the helpless and powerless to do anything about it feeling that arises from these thoughts. It's very helpless feeling like David versus Goliath, you know it. But this little guy's got a rock, okay, and it's a rock of truth, and I'm gonna wing it at that Goliath monster. So, instead, most choose to just push this knowledge away and simply be happy in and by trying to make the best of their situation. It really is amazing, the injustices you can simply get used to. We only have to think in order to see. So like I said, the signs of the end are all around us, and if you are awake, they stand right out, blaringly, in your face. Yet most cannot see. So, without further ado, that was how Jesus cured the blind. He helped them see what was all around them the entire time. They never noticed it because they're too ignorant and selfish to see it. So, sign number 1 is the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is nothing more than your social security number. They say you will not be able to legally work, buy necessary food and other goods, basically live within the comfort structure of the beast's society if you do not have this number on you. This has already happened. No one can legally make money without paying taxes. Taxes are filed under your Social Security number. Your credit, the ability to have credit cards, bank accounts, mortgages, driver's licenses, utilities, all depends on you having a Social Security number. No number, no credit, no legality. As more of us fall into poverty, more and more are depending on credit just to get by, further increasing our debt. Jesus himself said not to enter into debt. Either in debt others or enter into debt yourself, because he understood that it was just more enslavement. As I stated in my Tax Pie video, every American citizen who works for a paycheck automatically loses 25% right off the top. This 25% goes to federal and state income tax, Medicare, and Social Security. What most don't realize is the census shows us that 87.5% of all people who pay into these programs die before the age of 65. Most die before benefiting from the programs they've paid into their whole entire lives. This money goes right into the pockets of the elitists. It's the leaders of society's security, not the masses. You know, our so-called leaders of society, those greedy, selfish bastards who care nothing for the little guy. But like I said, this little guy's got a rock of truth, and I'm going to wing it at that Goliath monster. This system has given the elitists the power to create lives of lavishness and comfort and ease on the backs of the working class who faces constant struggle. But don't worry, their fate is sealed. They'll be stuck here. You know, gain the world, lose your soul. This is why alcohol and tobacco and cigarettes are still legal. These two man-made and man-controlled and government-approved substances are highly addictive and incredibly destructive to the human body. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, tobacco's not made by man, but they doctor it up. They put more nicotine in it than it comes with naturally so that they can hook you, okay? Nicotine is a poison, so understand that. So these two substances are highly addictive and incredibly destructive to the human body, attributing to most fatal accidents and illnesses, yet they are legal and they want you to be addicted to your poisons, which they can heavily tax, and by ingesting these poisons you in effect keep their system intact. You poison yourself your whole life to the point illness or accident takes your life before age 65, when they have to give you any of your money back, even the smallest little amount. And the worst part is you've been paying them to kill you, your death, the entire time. So like I said before, your Social Security number is the mark of the beast. You cannot legally work without one, you cannot have a bank account without one, and you cannot legally drive a car or have utilities like water, electricity, etc., or even receive medical care without one. It really is scary when you begin to see. The fact is, the vast majority is enslaved by the deceiver without even knowing or realizing it. The deceiver sells us that which God gives us. Now understand that all who have seen this and stood up against this have been killed off by those who hold power and control in this world. I as well am sure that I am also now in the crosshairs of the machine, driven by the greed and egos of the elitists who fight the end of their power and control at every turn. But I'd rather die fighting for you than die as a coward running away from my own life, trying to save my own skin. You know, I'd rather die honorably. We all die, but what do we truly live for? Jesus was helping us understand this and was put on the cross for it. Socrates was forced to drink hemlock for helping his followers understand. 800 Cathars were burned at the stake by the Catholic Church all at once for these teachings. Hey, what happened to thou shalt not kill? What I'm telling you now is an understanding which has emerged time and time again throughout human history, and yet every time it comes out, it is violently suppressed by the leaders of organized religion and the governing bodies of men, governments. The The powers that these organized religions hold and the leaders of governments hold are undeniable. Which leads me to my next topic, the appearance of Yagog and Magog, or Yah-Judge and Ma-Judge, depends on what version of the 10 signs you read, which is another sign of the end. These are Satan's generals, one a convincing silver-tongued spiritual leader, and the other a great military leader. Modern Christianity is the deceiver wearing a mask, along with Catholicism. Look at the Pope, look at how he dresses and what he wears and his grandiose life. Satan's generals are nothing more than the organized religions, confusing and misdirecting the masses down the path of self-destruction, and the government with its military strength and security police forces, who both profit greatly from your confusion and misdirection, who have deemed the manna, psilocybe mushrooms, illegal to prevent you from seeing and understanding this truth. This shows Satan, the real devil, as the machine, which operates behind the scenes out of public view. Every day you worship this beast by going to work in the system to make money, without ever knowing it. Didn't you watch the tax buy video? Don't you see that you're enslaved? They take your income from you before you even see it. What, you don't think that Mr. Abomination isn't a puppet of this machine? He doesn't even speak from his heart. He uses teleprompters so that the machine can tell him exactly what to say. Most Americans won't see $1 million in their entire lifetime. Yet Mr. Abomination makes $2.4 million over a 4-year term for being the face or the mask on the machine, and then another $1 million every 5 years in retirement to keep quiet, plus additional expense budgets for travel, assistance, Secret Service for the rest of his life. You don't think he enjoys having all the money he'll ever need? Politicians are all alike. The next one will only change the face we see, not the machine. How many retirement plans do you know that'll give you $1 million in 5 years? Every idealistic, uncorruptible leader who has come forward has been killed off by this machine. This has happened since the beginning, but thanks to the internet and social media, the end of this is near, and Christ's true kingdom will reign. The pen is mightier than the sword, because the sword can kill some, but the pen can inspire and free all. This comes from the story called The Conspiracy. The greatest conspiracy was hiding the way from you. The truth will set us free. Understand that every moment of every day we are all right outside the gates of heaven without knowing it. And God, who loves us all dearly, is simply waiting for us to let go of selfishness, turn around, and come inside. That's what the lost sheep's all about. He even created manna on the first Friday of existence to help us see and understand this simple truth. But the deceiver and its minions have hidden the true manna, psilocybe mushrooms, from us by deeming it the forbidden fruit and making it illegal, so we fear punishment, both spiritual and physical, for sampling it. And in hiding it, they prevent us from knowing what we truly seek. And in not knowing what we seek, we become lost and grasp at anything offered to us by the deceiver at any cost, only to realize after we have what the deceiver's system offered was not what we were truly seeking, we put it aside and continue seeking what we cannot see. And then here comes the deceiver again, offering us more crap we don't need. Are you beginning to see the cycle now? They trap us in an endless cycle of buying, not finding, and the whole time they tax us. It's time to face the truth. This world is death. Worldly desires keep you in death. This is what Jesus was talking about. This is why he wanted us to surrender worldly desire. Worldly desire makes you cling to a dying body. You free yourself by learning how to let go. Jesus was our Savior, and he still is. Do you think it is just a coincidence that the Gospel of Thomas remained hidden in a pot in a cave, buried away for 2,000 years, and has suddenly reappeared in the last 40 years? God's plan is in effect. There are no coincidences. If you want to honor Jesus, then seek to understand what he was trying to tell us. Honor him by doing with your life and time in the world that which Jesus was doing with his life and time in the world. This is what it is to follow Jesus. Do not worship how he died, for he left this world. His time in this world was ended at the hands of the deceiver. And by worshiping his death on the cross, you are worshiping the work of the deceiver, a false god, and you are doomed. The blind follow the blind into a hole, guys. It's a grave. Instead, honor him by living as he did. He was a messenger of truth, a keeper of the light. Follow him by understanding and helping others understand. Allow his life to continue through yours. After all, how can one call themselves Christian if they won't even walk the walk in his footsteps? You know, the life you save may be your own. Become a savior in your own right by helping God. God saves that which is useful to God. God is not wasteful. God waits for us all. But one does not find God or see God until they are ready to. Through free will you choose whether you are conscious of the choice or not. Can you see me now? You will know me not as I appear, but by what I say to you. Let's go. Let's go. Life awaits. You can check out my books as free downloads on lulu.com. Jesus and the Magic Mushroom, Meditation, the Mystic Path, and the Keys of Knowledge. Finally, the Truth Comes Out, and Mystic Caterpillar. All four by Sean Williams, or you could buy even buy the hard copy print editions. Some are available as iBooks. I didn't do it for the money. I did it to help everyone, which is the true opportunity God gives us all. As always, good luck and God bless. May God's light shine upon you, shine upon thee, and guide thy steps evermore.